I feel like a lot of people get the idea of like, oh, you have to get married. But then it's like, to me, that's almost a fear-based way of thinking too, because then people be getting divorced.
Big Sean doesn't want to marry Jhene Aiko because he doesn't love her, and that's really all it comes down to.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How you all doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So Big Sean, the rapper Big Sean did a sit down interview with Charlamagne the God, and Charlamagne the God asked him that when is he and Janelle are going to get married. And Big Sean really went on a rambling talking about how both of them have so much work to do before they take that commitment of having a child, and talking about how whether they like it or not, they are pairs together, they are friends, they are parents together, that whether they are married or not, they are tied for life, and marriage, you just feel like marriage is a bigger commitment. Why get married when some people get married and then get divorced? Like, it just went on a whole rant that has gotten the entire internet talking. The entire internet is talking about this interview, and that's because Janelle and Big Sean, they've been together for a while, and even Chanel, they both have a child together. So that has gotten a lot of people talking, and people have so much to say. But let's go check out this interview, and then some clips too that has gone viral after this interview went viral, and then we'll come back and talk more.
Stopping y'all from getting married? Or y'all already did one of those secret industry weddings?
No, there has not been a secret industry marriage. I think that it's a little personal, you know what I mean? But just like, to be real with you, just like any people who have dealt with love, we've had our ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's still finding the right navigation through it all. I don't know if to me, marriage symbolizes like the best relationship. You know, people be like, oh, you got to get married. To me, I feel like having a relationship is first and foremost, and like marriage is a byproduct of that. And I feel like a lot of people get the idea of like, oh, you have to get married. But then it's like, to me, that's almost a fear-based way of thinking too, because then people be getting divorced. The divorce rate's so fucking high. And I am someone who, I'm not like discounting anything, and I'm not saying that we aren't gonna get married. But what I'm saying is that it's just, I would like to do a lot. I would like to, and I don't like putting our personal business out there like that either. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done, I feel like, in general. We have so many relationships. It's like being peers, being in a group together, parents, romantic, all that, you know, it's like, it's a crazy connection, because no matter what, we're always going to be tied together, no matter what. So I think that doesn't discount that, like, she and me both have to be on the same page. Not to say we aren't, but I feel like I can only speak for myself, that there needs to be like more work done so we could keep going, because there's a lot of focus on our family. There's a lot of focus on careers and everything, and that is something that I feel like has not been the main focus.
So y'all not necessarily together now, y'all just figuring it out.
Oh, now look at you, Charlamagne.
I'm just asking a question.
No, I'm not saying that either. That's, you know, what I'm saying is that it's not perfect, and that it needs to be work done.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you marry me?
Shit. It's in the works.
Whatever.
Don't even trip.
I don't need no man.
So let me know what you think about the interview down in the comment section. So go down and share your own thought. Love to know what you think about this interview. But this interview has gotten a lot of people talking. Some people are not here for it. Some people are saying that you're thinking marriage, you need to do the work before you get married. So why didn't you do the work before you have a child? While some people are saying that marriage does not guarantee anything and all that. So I want to know what you think about this conversation. Which do you think is a bigger commitment, having a child or being married? I want to know your own take down in the comment section. But clearly, we all have seen that Janelle actually wants the ring, but Big Sean doesn't want to put the ring on it. And probably maybe this case will probably end up being the case of being a shut up ring. But I don't even feel like Big Sean is going to do that. Okay. So anyway, go share your thought down in the comment section, and then we'll come back and talk more. Let's go check out people's thoughts on this, and then I'll come back and share more of my thoughts. So let's go check it out.
Big Sean doesn't want to marry Jhene Aiko because he doesn't love her, and that's really all it comes down to. I know y'all gonna disagree, but I honestly think that he hates her. Just hear me out real quick. Just let me cook. Jhene has made it very clear that marriage and a traditional family is like an ultimate goal for her. For you to sit here and play in this woman's face day after day and year after year is crazy to me. Y'all live together. Y'all got kids together. You make albums together. You done profited and made money together. All the things that like a typical married power couple, hip-hop couple would do. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, you don't want to commit. And it's because you don't love her. Like, men marry the women that they love. Like, that's just really what it comes down to. I think he hates her. And I don't even think that he just hates her. I think he hates all women. Black women, mixed women, white women. He hates them all. Damn sure don't like black women. He panders to us. When have you ever seen Big Sean with a black woman? Never. Only see him with white and mixed women. And then even with the mixed women, he's still not marrying them. Now, Jhene, come here, sister, because I got to give you a couple bops, too, because you're not innocent. At the end of the day, you allow for all of this to happen. You were a willing participant in all of this bullshit. Now they got these resurfaced clips of you practically begging this man to marry you. It's looking real pathetic. He doesn't love you, sis. And honestly, it's starting to look like you don't love yourself.
So I've seen the video of Big Sean talking about not being ready to marry Jhene Aiko just yet, and I've been seeing all the discourse around men who rationalize having kids with you but not wanting to marry you, and I believe that I've come up with my own hypothesis as to why this phenomenon is the way that it is. The theory is really simple. I believe that a lot of these men who think this way fear divorce way more than child support. They fear being a bad husband way more than they fear being a bad dad. These men look at marriage as a higher level of responsibility and expectation from them than they do parenthood. And that has to do with patriarchy and how women are looked to being the caregivers more than men are. They don't feel that as much is required of them in parenthood as it would be in a marriage to not only get married, but stay married. I also believe that a lot of these men don't have faith in their character and their qualities to be able to get married and stay married successfully. Parenthood does not require fidelity the way that marriage does. For these men, parenthood does not require emotional availability and communication the ways in which a marriage would. And a lot of these men have heard the horror stories of men in their lives who, because of their own actions, got a divorce, and that divorce just ruined their entire lives. Ruined their lives in ways that child support did not. And when these men talk to one another about the horror stories of their divorce, they're hearing a mirroring of actions that they do currently and thinking, oh shit, this could happen to me if I get married? Oh no, I ain't doing that. A lot of these men fear marriage more than parenthood because they fear that they cannot live up to the standard of not being faithful and being able to communicate their emotions and being able to be vulnerable with their partner forever. So having a baby is easier, especially if you have a baby by a good woman who you know will always take care of your kid regardless of how irresponsible you are. In conclusion, having a kid with a woman and not marrying her just means less responsibility for him, and depending on their dynamic, an endless supply of coochie for him with no strings attached. Yeah.
Now that we're talking about Big Sean again, remember when Jhene Aiko had his face tattooed on her arm? As someone who is chronically online, I remember this vividly. She did this either right before Trip the album or right after Trip the album. And this, the crazy thing is, like, shortly after that, or however long after that, she came out with Triggered Freestyle, and then he came out with Single Again, and it's like, and because Jhene's on tour and Big Sean just released his song about fatherhood and all that, a lot of people are having the question why they can commit to having children together and not commit to marriage. But from the outside looking in, and based on their art, I could see why they might be weary of getting married, especially if you want your first marriage to work and you want your first marriage to be your only marriage. And I say that because I enjoy Jhene, and I wouldn't say I'm a casual fan, casual max, right? But some of her music gives Birdish to me. And also Big Sean gives, like, I'm turning over a new leaf, I'm trying to do better in life, and I'm picking and choosing and doing things intentionally. But him not taking that step to propose to her from the outside looking in, I don't know their life, also seems intentional. And another thing that's on topic but off topic that is weary to me, again, outside looking in, is that, like, he is with someone who already has a child, but it doesn't seem like he embraces her child. And I don't know if that's from Orion, like Jhene's baby daddy, being like, hey, my daughter got a daddy, or like, you know, Nomi, I think that's her name. She's like 15 now. She's on TikTok. She's old enough to be like, hey, you know, I don't like you. So I don't know what that is, but that could also be a barrier to getting married. Like, I love you so much, but from Jhene's perspective, I love you so much, but like, there's this disconnect between how my child feels about you, or how you feel about my child, or how my child's father feels about you, whatever that is, and you know? Like, how can we be a blended family if there's this, you know? So, I don't know.
If a man wants to waste your time, he will literally find any excuse to, because why, when Big Sean is asked about his relationship with Jhene Aiko and if they secretly got married or plan to get married, he's saying things like there's more work to be done when these people have been together on and off, I think, for about 10 years, and definitely fully on for the last few years. There are men that will literally jump through hoops to try to figure out ways to convince you that it's all in timing, that they need to see more from you when it comes to relationships before putting a ring on it. And then there are men who will not play about you the very first time. Freddie Prinze Jr. describing his relationship with Sarah Michelle Gellar is always going to be the standard for me. These two started out as friends, but the moment they decided to shift it into more, he was serious about her. He said he stopped calling all the other girls back. He had no interest in being with anybody but her. And even though they both discussed that they did not really care to get married, he just had this feeling that she was going to be his wife. So he asked, and they just happily are together ever since. Meanwhile, Big Sean happily gave Jhene a child, but will not give her a ring. That is just crazy.
Do y'all realize Jhene is a Crip and a crystal lover? And y'all on her talking about her? Y'all need to wrap this conversation up real quick, because she could easily unite all of her fans. And you would either leave black and blue or with amethyst stuck up your ass. Y'all make the choice, okay? All right, before she unite us like it's dragon tails.
Big Sean said a whole bunch of nothing when Charlamagne was interviewing him and asking him when Jhene and him will get married. He's talking about, we have a crazy connection no matter what. We are always going to be tied together. There's a lot that needs to be done. Y'all have a whole kid together. And you still haven't proposed to this woman. It's been years now. I mean, he basically just kept saying in the interview how they still have a lot of things they need to get done together in order for them to get married. And it's just like, he said a whole bunch of nothing. It was excuses after excuses. Y'all ever like have an essay and y'all just need to like make it longer? If y'all watch that interview, that's exactly what it was. And it's kind of embarrassing for Jhene, because it's just like, you're Jhene. Like, why is he not proposing to you yet? And it's just like, it's excuses. These men want these women to do everything for them, treat them like a husband. But when it comes down to the real deal, they don't want to be part of it. Because why else is he taking so long? Why is he taking so long to marry this woman? He's been with her. He knows he loves her. They know what it is. They have a kid. What's stopping him?
So I saw a clip circulating with Charlamagne the God and Big Sean, because I don't know if you've seen the clip where Big Sean performed at Jhene's show in LA, I think. And during one of his song that he was performing, it mentioned something about a ring, and Jhene looked at her hand and was like, what ring? And so people have been like, you know, making speculations about it, yada, yada, yada. We all know that Jhene has been hinting at getting a ring for years now. So I watched the clip with Big Sean and Charlamagne the God. And you don't even have to go watch it, because I'm going to sum it up what he said. He basically was like, he's not marrying Jhene because he doesn't have to. And that was pretty much what I got from that. He said he's not marrying her because he doesn't have to. And because they're so intertwined, they have a kid together, they're business partners, romantic partners, they're peers. They're always going to be connected. So basically, what's the point, right? Yeah. And then Charlamagne the God basically tried to call him out, but I don't think Charlamagne the God is the person to call Big Sean out, because he was like, yeah, I've been with my wife 26 years. We got married in 2014. Big Sean was like, well, what took you 16 years to marry your wife if you're telling me marriage is so great? And I'm pretty sure he was like dumbfounded in that one moment. But he was like, essentially, there was no reason why he waited. He took all that time thinking the same way Big Sean is thinking, like that it needs to be a certain way before it happens, because for some reason, some people think that your problems are going to stop once you get married, or that problems stop when you get married, and they don't. You simply evolve and learn how to manage the problems better. So you don't even gotta go watch the clip. I summed it up for you in a sentence. He's not marrying her because he doesn't have to. That's all.
When y'all be talking about marriage and like time frames, I just chuckle to myself every time. Like I just be quiet, because y'all trivialize it so much, and I find it to be interesting. As a person who was formerly very, very religious, and y'all know what that comes with. Religious and army, the minute you hit 18, you marry. Bow. Just like that. You know, I like you, I want you, we got to get married. And that's usually a thing. And as a person who have seen how that goes, and also, you know, different married people's examples that I got to see up close and personal, like on different tiers, you know, I had a lot of compare and contrast. I just think the commentary that surrounds it is very interesting and is oversimplified. I think it's oversimplified and it's overcomplicated a lot of times. I'm talking about this because I watched the Big Sean clip or whatever. It's very clear, because I also seen the clip of him and Jhene performing the song or whatever. She wants to be married. It's clear, right? He seems confused. And what do we say about confusion? Confusion means no. Especially if you've been together over a certain amount of time. But then when these clips surface, y'all are like, you should know after a year, you should know after year 2. And I just feel like it's a bit more nuanced than that. I used to think like that too. Again, religious background. Until you really think about, you really sit down and sit with yourself. Marriage is a contract. It absolutely is a business move. Like, I know y'all don't like it. Yeah, love is involved, but like, that's true. If said partners are not, if y'all don't have a game plan, right? Like, both people are intentional and we know that we want to be a certain place. And I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about financially, I mean emotionally. Like, a lot of things need to be discussed and a plan needs to be had in order to tie yourself to somebody else, because you're also taking on each other's baggage, not just emotional, but financially as well. Like, yeah, you love the person, but at the end of the day, it needs to make sense. That's why a lot of rich people don't get married, because contractually, money-wise, it'd be a lot of stuff in the mix, and they understand business arrangements. It needs to make sense. Some people be like, oh yeah, I knew after 6 months. Personally, I think that's a tad fast. You know classmates longer than that. But if that's your twist, that's your twist. If it works for you, it works for you. I also feel like it's a feeling. It's absolutely a desire. It has to be a longing desire. Same thing with kids. People just lay down and then, you know, a kid pops up and it's like, oh, you know, and then y'all start trying to figure out parenting shit later. Not ready mentally, emotionally, financially, nothing. It usually comes after, because y'all just feel like, well, you know, this is what I'm just going to do now. And I feel like people equate length of time, we should be getting married. But what if you shouldn't be getting married to that particular person? What if they don't match up in like the long run? Like, dating is fine, but you don't feel compelled in that particular, you know, scenario. So everybody got to be for real with each other up front. She seemed for real, and he don't seem for real. He's been engaged before. What does that tell you? Like, you get what I'm saying? Stop trying to change people's minds. Stop trying to put timelines on things. People be in different stages of life. People be in school. People, the job is not that great. That stuff will absolutely affect your marriage. It absolutely will. Some of y'all need to be therapized real bad. You need therapy real bad before you enter into that space. Y'all don't understand, like, you're locked in. You are absolutely locked in. Same thing with a kid. I just think people do it too leniently, or they're just like, oh, this is the natural progression of things. But is it naturally progressing if you're trying to force it, or you're on a timeline? And please don't think that I'm advocating for a 10-year relationship. Please don't think that, because now we're playing. If one party wants to be married and the other person, no, it shouldn't be that. Like, I just feel like it should be a very clear desire. Going back to my religious background, there was a lot of expectations when you hit a certain age to be hitting certain milestones. Was I interested in certain milestones? Yes, but I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely did force myself, to accelerate the process because I should be here by this time. And it was a lot. Thinking about it, it was a little absurd. Like, whoa, calm down. You're very young. Like, what in the world? You raise your hand and the ex use the bathroom, you don't make yourself dinner. Like, why is such a lifelong, serious decision? Why are you trying to shoulder that at 14? But it was just a natural progression of things. Same thing, like I said, they be getting married at 18. Why would you do that? Look, y'all, I know y'all about to tussle. It's ridiculous. It just is ridiculous. It's such a serious commitment to make while you are still growing into settling into your person. What in the world? You don't even know who you like, or I don't know. I just think y'all get a little interesting when it comes to time frame. And then y'all talk shit in the same vein, right? Y'all talk shit about people like LaToya Luckett. There was mixed reviews. Oh, that's a lot of times to get married. What's the problem? If she's dating these people for the time frames that y'all said, and she's a person that likes to get married, what's the issue? Y'all just trivialize things. And I think we should all mind our business respectfully, yes. But also, I'm not going to hold you. Y'all calling a spade when it comes to Big Sean. Like, a spade is definitely a spade. It's what it seems like. But if Jhene likes it, we should love it and move on. I don't know. I just think y'all be oversimplifying. Yes, you should know after 1 month. You should know after 2 years. You should know after 5 years. It's a little more than knowing. The desires should definitely be there for both parties, but it's a hell of a lot more involved than just loving somebody and having a desire to get married. So, are you equipped? Do y'all circumstances and finances and emotional state make sense to tie together? Are y'all ready to take on each other's baggage? Do y'all have a plan for that? Yeah, I don't know. Y'all be interested.
If a man has been with me for almost a decade, I've been with a man for almost a decade, and you go on a show and somebody asks you, oh, are you guys married? Did you guys secretly get married? And you answer, we still got more work to do. After we had a kid together and we've been together almost a decade, yo, that's done for me. That is done. That's stringing me along. Are you serious? You are not going to commit to me, but you probably would commit to somebody else under the right circumstances. Let me tell you, I don't know. Maybe I always felt like Jhene Aiko gave me the type that's like spiritual marriage type girl, like one of those, like, I don't know how to say it, but like she's a Pisces, but you know what I mean. Like, they are into that earthy type of shit, so maybe rings don't matter. It's all bullshit type of person. Anyway, she gave me that vibe. So maybe that works for her. But for me, you spend 10 years, I wouldn't even get to year 10 or year 8 or year 5 if we wouldn't even be having a kid. If it got to a level where we had a kid and you're not getting married to me, I'll just be a single mother. I'll just raise a kid on my own and we could co-parent. Because there's no way in hell I'm going to be with a man that doesn't marry me and doesn't value me as a partner to marry me. Like, you would rather make me a mother, but you don't want to make me a wife. That makes no sense.
Stopping y'all from getting married. Y'all already did one of those secret industry weddings.
No. There has not been a secret industry marriage
Timing of this interview being released right now does not surprise me because Saturn is currently retrograde in Sidereal Aquarius, which is Jhene Aiko's moon sign. And Big Sean, I had to refilm this because I had a city wrong. He is actually a Pisces rising, which means that the North Node and South Node is currently in his first house and seventh house. And Jhene Aiko currently has Saturn on her moon, which means it's looking at her seventh house as well. So for Big Sean, this means the hidden aspects of his relationship could have really came to the surface last year around February. And for Jhene Aiko, she could have really started feeling the pressure when it comes to a relationship. And this could be because I think she recently had a kid, but also she could have just became more mature when it comes to love and what she's looking for in her relationship. Saturn is retrograde. Whatever occurred around January, February of last year is kind of coming to the surface now. And for them, it has a lot to do with the relationship. And the reason why Big Sean is having to answer this question right now is because he literally has Saturn in his 12th house, and in his birth chart, he has the North Node in his 12th house as well. And then again, currently, the North Node is on his ascendant. And for Big Sean, his spouse significator is actually Saturn. It's his lowest degree planet in his birth chart, not including the outer planets like Uranus or Neptune. So of course, now that Saturn is retrograde, those conversations are going to come up. And the thing about the 12th house is it's the house that deals with your discomforts, the things that you like to sweep under the rug. So this is why he was so agitated in the interview when he asked that question, because the 12th house is the house of your secrets, the things you keep privately. And he even said he doesn't really like to talk about his relationship like that. But again, when Saturn goes retrograde, you can't run from it, especially when you're going through your sadasati. Jhene Aiko could be feeling the pressure too, but it's more hidden for her because it's her moon sign. But she does have her North Node and South Node in Aquarius and Leo, which is where the nodes will be next year. This means something significant in her relationship is going to be revisited next year. It could be a marriage or separation. So let me know what you guys think.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. But please, as always, keep it respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thoughts, okay? Let me know what you think about this. Marriage important, having a child, which is bigger commitment, and what you think about the entire conversation. Why some people are saying that doesn't really matter. So this is my own take on this. Coming from someone, I don't believe in the institution of marriage. I feel like if you want to do marriage, you don't do it the traditional, or don't let it be structured the traditional way or the way society perceives it to be. That's the only way. But if it's going to be the way society has kind of structured it, you usually have a prospect of failing. Am I making sense? So my own take, there are some people, like I know myself, that if I know what I know now, or I've grown to this place before I got married, I don't think I'll ever get married. So there are some people that genuinely don't want marriage, and that should be fine. Like for me personally, I don't see anything wrong with somebody saying, no, I don't want a child or I don't want marriage. But I know where people are having issues, like, okay, if you know you don't want marriage, then why do you want a child? There are some people that seriously crave a child. But this is the thing I also want to talk about, that as much as you crave for that child, also know that this person you don't want to commit to. So this is my own take. I feel like, personally, if marriage is not for you, then don't have a child. Personally, this is why, because if you are scared of making that commitment to allow your life intertwine with somebody and all that, but you're willing to make that commitment to have a child with that person, it's almost as a commitment as being married, because your life and that person's life is going to intertwine, and having a child for that person is going to change the direction of your life, whether you like it or not. So if you're going to make yourself commit into having a child with somebody, you could as well just do the whole marriage thing and deal with it. Honestly, that's my own personal opinion. But I feel like if you don't want marriage, then don't want kids, because having kids tied you with that person, especially when you feel like you can't stand the person anymore, or you, like, I don't know how that even works, how you can have a child with somebody but don't want you can see eye to eye with the person to have a child with the person, but you can't see the reason why you should marry the person, just even for security's sake, the child and all that. You don't see the reason. For me, that tells a lot of who you are as a person. But it's fine if you don't want to get married. For me, do you? But clearly, another issue I'm seeing here in the dynamic between Big Sean and Jhene is the fact that Jhene wants the marriage, wants the ring, and Big Sean does not. And this is where I don't understand why men usually go for women that want what they don't want. Why don't you look for a woman that have the same mindset as you are, don't want marriage and all that? You guys will get along. But no, most times, which we've seen here on this channel, some men will go out for women that are the opposite of what they want, just try to convince her or try to make her what they want. And for me, it doesn't make sense. Why don't you look for ladies that are like you and that are taking their time to get married? Don't look for a lady that wants the marriage thing and that, because we're all different. Some people want the marriage thing so bad, some people don't. But also, I also feel like when you want marriage, the same thing I talk about having marriage, having being married, having a child, is that when you're wanting this thing, what's your mindset? Why are you having it? Have you asked yourself those questions? Why you want a child? Why you want to get married? Because a lot of people, they get married, they have children because of timeline, like the other sister said. They feel like they're of a certain age, then certain things they should have attained certain things at that point in their life, so they will want to go ahead for marriage. So for me, I will usually ask why are you doing it and all that. But other than that, whatever you want to do as a person, as a woman, always ask yourself, how does this benefit you? And one thing that is very important, if you want to start dating or be in a relationship, if you and that person does not have the same mission, does not see eye to eye with the same goals in life, or don't just do it, because you just end up wasting your time, because the other person will be wishing you can change for them, that you are wishing the person can change for you, and before you know, resentment start building up in this relationship, which most time end up with this relationship breaking up and all that. So always make sure that you and the person you choose to date or be in a relationship with, you see eye to eye on certain things, and have this conversation when you go on dates. Pick their brain. I know they will pick your brain to ask, is marriage on your table? If marriage is not on your table, don't date somebody that marriage is not on their table, or somebody that is I don't know, lukewarm. Go for somebody that is as solid as you think you are. So yeah, for me, I find this really interesting, having a child. I feel like having a child having a child and being married, I see both of them as equally serious commitment. Like, I don't think like one is bigger. Like, if you're doing one, just do the other one. Not really, like you can be married and don't have a child, but if you're having a child, then you can as well just get married. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. But please, as always, keep it respectful. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see. And that will be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.